So, what do you think about what you hear right now?
You guys, I don't think you want to know.
No, I want to know.
Okay.
How old are you? 20?
20.
Okay.
I'm very happy that you're like, command? What do you mean command? Like that doesn't sound quite right. I think that these are two autonomous individuals. You know what I mean?
Too retarded?
Autonomous.
What?
Autonomous.
Oh, autonomous. Oh, I thought you said too retarded. I'm like, you're right.
Well, yeah. That too. But I think that all the wrong things are being thought about too deeply. And then we're like, I want to be right. What does right mean? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I personally, like, I don't really resonate with all of this alpha male stuff. I'm kind of the opposite. I think that, not even that it's toxic, it's just stupid. It's wrong, you know?
Alpha male is toxic?
No, not that. It's just stupid
What
to
is?
me. I just think that to be like, I'm an alpha, you know, like, it kind of makes you seem like you're not, you know, when you say that. Like, and I just, personally, in my experience, I'm a lot more of a developed intellectual individual than a lot of the males that I speak with.
Uh-huh.
So to me, that whole like, oh, you're in charge, no, that doesn't really make sense. But I think that in terms of like their marriage, it should like what are you're arguing because like, so you want her to be off YouTube, right?
Well, as an example.
Okay. But why is that like a big deal? Like, why does it, like, okay, you know?
Well, okay, yeah, well, that's a good question. And now, well, because it's an addiction, you know, it really is. Maybe some people, you know, may be different for every person. Maybe somebody could watch a video and just, hey, I learned something new, or I saw something funny, or I saw a news clip. You know, it's just like any other tool. It's just a tool. Could be neither good nor bad, but you could get addicted to it. That's
totally true.
That's just data. You know, it's addicting. It's an addiction. That's why, you know, rich people don't let their kids go on YouTube because, well, I mean, like, you know, really.
I think kind of the opposite. Rich people kind of.
Well, when I say rich people, I mean like the Mark Zuckerberg's kid is not like on social media all day, but.
Let me
just
ask you
anyway,
this.
I digress.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that, okay, so like take her out to lunch. Like, and then just,
Take her
like,
out to
if
lunch?
Yeah, like, and if she's on her phone,
That
like, be
costs
like,
more
hey,
money.
like, it hurts my feelings if you're
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
phone.
No, okay, but hold on. I think it's a little different than I think that you might be picturing. So it's not that, you know, if we're out to lunch, yeah, she's not sitting at the table on her phone.
That's great.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. We have this trip, like I said, we went on, we have a great time. It's not like, because that would just be kind of rude. It's not a matter of her being rude. She's very polite and considerate. If we're like on a date or going for a walk at the beach or something, no, it's not like that. It's more like, you know, when we're at home and we're taking some time to ourselves, which is totally, totally fine. Yeah, it's sort of like that, and which it sounds fine. You know, it sounds fine, but what happens is that, you know, she's watching these videos that are, you know, could be very thought-provoking, not a bad thing either, but
She's like a
it just gets
nutcase
her really
on the
like
video.
tense.
it gets her, yes,
Let me do this
it
because
gets
of
her
time.
really tense, really
Let me do
worked
this.
up.
She's a nutcase on the video. She can't help it.
Yeah, my mom's kind of the same. It's like one Twitter thing after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other.
Really?
And it's, yes,
And
always
how
on the live streams, and it's like, you're not, like, at this point, what are you really learning? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think that totally, it's, at that point, it's kind of also just, like, suffocating yourself with, like, politics, you know what I mean? And that's never a good thing.
So how do you deal with your mother when she's doing that?
Well, unfortunately, she thinks, like, I'm educating myself, like, yada, 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 and so there's not really much leeway, so I kind of just am like, peace out, I'll see you later.
You what?
I just, like, if it's too much for me, like, you know, there's oftentimes she's willing to put it away and we can hang out, and so that's super great, but if she really wants to listen, then we just kind of go our separate ways and coexist separately.
Wow.
Which, yeah, I mean,
What
but
a
also
nutcase,
she's my
another
mother,
nut.
she's an adult, you know.
Wow. And when you tell your father to tell her to get off to say take a break? What does he? How does
They're
he? Do?
not together.
Oh.
But again, I kind of just like, it's. I mean, we tell her, but again, she's her own individual. She's gonna do whatever she wants, right or wrong.
Even if your father was to call up and say, "Hey, you're irritating my daughter. You need your attention. Get off the thing." Would she get off then?
I mean, like I said, she gets off like when we're together. But like, for example, she took me here today for Mother's Day. She knew it would make me upset. Like, she did it anyways. So.
And how did she know it would make you upset?
I think I'm very like, clear and stark on my views. So.
Oh, I see. And are you upset?
Yeah, honestly, it is a little. I frustrate easily, but it frustrates me to hear your conversation with him and just be like, you should command her to do this, and like it annoys me. Yeah.
And why does it bother you? Because it's not happening to you, it's happening to them. It has nothing to do with you.
I guess just because
why are you bothered by it?
You're informing all of these people, and like all of these people came, and I guess it also makes me sad, but yeah, it just makes me mad that like this narrative is being perpetuated, and like it's influencing their lives, and like so many, like the fact that like women are here too. I don't know.
But why? But you're not every woman, are you?
Well, I mean, for example, I want to be an environmental lawyer. Like I care about society as a whole, not just myself.
Right, but you're not supposed to be You're not supposed to be bothered about what someone else think or believe, right?
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true. Like if
you should be bothered about what
if you yelled at him and were like, you're weird and I hate you and whatever, I'd be like, oh, that upsets me. Like that's not nice.
Really? You should have been here last Sunday. I did.
I think
But
that it's
not
like
normal to be bothered by someone else's issue.
Well, it's not like the issue. It's more that it's not like their individual issue. It's the fact that this issue applies to basically like everyone in the room, everyone watching the stream. Like it's a larger issue that is like prevalent in media. So it's more just like seeing it play out in real time, this larger issue.
But still, you are an individual. You're not every person. You are you. How will you live your life if you can be bothered about someone else's life, period?
I don't, surround myself with people that bother me.
I'm sorry?
I don't surround myself with people that bother me. Like willingly, I wouldn't be here, and so I wouldn't be bothered. But I also think that I think that it's healthy to like every so often, be in life and come across something and be like, that's not right. I don't stand for that, and it frustrates me a little bit that others do. You know what I mean?
Amazing. And that's interesting. Who are you closer to, your father or your mother?
My mother.
You're closer to your mother than your father? Why is that?
She's around more, and she's a lot younger. Like she's closer in age than to me than my father is by a lot. She was nicer.
She's nicer? Your mother's nicer?
I know. I know. Tough deal.
Who would you prefer to be closest to, your father or your mother?
My mother.
And not your father?
I mean, he's like 65.
Your father's 65 years old?
Mm.
Nice. Who would you prefer to be? I mean, so you prefer to be close to your mother because you're kind of similar in age, he's younger, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like we can, go to a comedy show together like we did last night, for example.
Right, I understand that part. And so do you miss your father?
More the idea of him, but he's pretty difficult to be around, so no. But
he's difficult to be around?
Yeah, that's fine.
But you love the idea of being with him, but he's difficult to be around?
Mm-hmm.
And do you love him?
Sure.
Have you told him that?
Yeah.
Have you forgiven him for being difficult?
No.
Why not?
Because it's caused me a lot of problems.
If you were to forgive him, it would cause a lot of problems?
No. He's just like the way that he was as a parent just like has long-lasting effects that have damaged me now. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, great, thanks.
Oh, so he's already damaged you with some things. And you
Well,
can't,
not like damaged, but like, yes, certain setbacks.
have you talked to him about that?
There's some narcissistic tendencies, so it's kind of hard for him to grasp reality sometimes. And when he hears certain things, he only like can attach to certain things, if that makes sense. He doesn't, you know.
Oh, so he doesn't understand why you're narcissistic?
No.
I thought
He's a bit
you-
narcissistic,
I'm
and
sorry?
so he has
Oh,
a
I
bit
thought
of
you said
narcissism.
you're kind of narcissistic, and he
No.
doesn't know how to deal with that. No? And are you narcissistic?
I wouldn't say so. No.
Would he say so?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So what is it like not being able to communicate with him?
It's sad, but you know there are bigger problems that I could have. So
If there was a way to communicate with him and not be bothered about how he acts or how narcissistic he is, would you do it?
well, it's also he says things directly to me that are like mean. So it's like
That mean?
yeah,
Did
to
you
a
say
certain
that a mean?
yeah, and he can just be very controlling, whatever. Like it's not like I'm frustrated with how he is as a person. It's like he can be like a shitty parent, and so I'm like, oh, you know. But it's
Do you want to be able to communicate in spite of all that?
we're working on that. Yeah, I think
So
that
you
it's
do
improved.
want to do that? I'm going to tell you what to do, and I want you to give it a try. And if you never come back here, call me and tell me on the show or something.
Okay.
All right? If I tell you what to do, will you do it?
Yeah.
All right. And you're going to have perfect peace if you should do it. All right? You got to forgive him. He cannot help himself.
It's true. Yeah, my mom always says like, you can't go to a bar and ask the bartender for some milk. He's gonna be like, I don't have milk, and you're gonna be like, what do you mean? But you
So I
can't.
want you to show him love by going to him and say, Dad, I'm sorry for being angry at you. I'm sorry for holding on to the things that you did to me. I realize now you couldn't help yourself. And forgive him, and your whole world will change. And it wouldn't matter how he is, you will be free.
Right.
Will you give that a try?
I will. Yeah.
And don't have any expectation. Don't expect him to say, I'm sorry or not sorry. Don't expect anything, and I promise you your whole world will change. Will you give that a try?
I will.
Will you let me know how it goes?
I will.
Aren't you glad you came now?
Yes.
See there? Amazing, yeah. Forgive him. You have to forgive him so that you could be free. Because he's doing the best he could. His mother screwed him up. You know what I mean? His father wasn't there for him. And so the way he treated you, he just didn't know how to do it any differently.
Absolutely.
And he loved you, he just didn't know how to deal with it. And he definitely doesn't know how to deal with your mother. Have you noticed that? Your mother's not an easy person to deal with. Have you noticed it?
You guys have met before, right? No?
No,
Interesting.
but yet I know her, right?
Yeah.
She's not easy.
I mean, neither of them are, you know.
Right, but especially your mother. So you got to forgive your mother too. She cannot help herself. Her mother screwed her up.
Yeah.
And she wants to be different with you, and she's trying to, but she doesn't know quite how to do it. So you got to apologize for resenting her too, so you will be free and you won't do the same thing to your kids should you have kids. That make sense? So forgive your mother. She can't help it, she's crazy. But she loves you. They're doing the best they could. Are you surprised to know that you become so much like your mother?
I think that the way that I'm like my mother is that we're both really emotional. But no offense, I don't really think I'm
No.
that much like her.
So what now?
I don't really think that I'm that much like her.
You just, both of you more emotional?
Yeah.
Emotional? And what else that you are in being like her?
Outgoing, extroverted.
And you don't want to be like your mother. You want to be you. You don't want to be like the mother, right?
In certain aspects, certainly.
But you don't want to be emotional and all that other stuff, right?
I mean, I don't want to be as emotional as I am, but I think that overall I'm grateful for it because it's made me very empathetic. And I've noticed that a lot of people my age are just like apathetic. So
Because they're so unhappy, they're just like the mothers. And they don't want to be, so they're all unhappy. They want to be free. They want to be themselves. And I'm telling you how to do it. You should not be that emotional. That's your mother's identity, not yours. Am I right?
to a certain extent, yeah.
Forgive her. So that you become like what you're angry at. If you're angry at your mother, you're going to become like your mother, and you're going to be miserable. But if you're not angry, speak up, but don't be angry, you're going to be you. And your mother will be herself, but you won't be all like your mother emotional. So you got to forgive your parents.
Yeah, that's true.
And forgiveness says, I'm sorry for being angry at you. I realize now that you could not help yourself. And I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. Give it a good try with both, all right? So that you don't wake up one morning, you just like your mother. And then here you are married some 70-year-old man. And you wonder, how did I get here? You become like what you're angry at. You don't want to be angry. You want to speak up, but you don't want to be angry. So you got to forgive your mother, all right? That make sense?
Yeah,
All right. Let me know how it goes.
I will.
Any question about that?
No.
Do you disagree with that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you want to be, no matter what you do in life, you want to have peace. You want to be you and not someone else. You're not supposed to be like your parents. You're supposed to be you. All right? Amazing. So now you like me better, huh?
Yeah,
Isn't that something?
it is something, yeah.
Right on. What do you have to say about all this? Take the mic behind you.
Oh, thank you, sir. I just was really enjoying the conversation, and I'm feeling great gratitude right now and appreciation.
Are you working on yourself?
All the time. It's a full-time job.
You forgiving your parents and all that?
Yes.
You told them?
Yes, absolutely.
How did it go?
Well, I told my mother. I haven't
Oh, you did?
told my
How did it go when you went to your mother?
beautiful, it definitely made a change. It definitely works when you kind of release that. It's like a
You
burden off
gotta
your
let
shoulders.
the anger go.
Absolutely.
It's not good, it's evil.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, continue to work on yourself. Have you forgiven your father too?
Sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't really have any anger or resentment towards them.
Yeah, most people don't resent the father. They yearn for the father. They would like to have a relationship with their father, so they're like yearning for the father. The anger most of the time comes from the mother.
Right. I made peace with not having my father around.
Right.
And it's like what you don't know, you don't miss.
Yeah.
So I think in many ways it's better that way than to have an abusive father who's around all the time, but is
you
damaging.
have forgiven him, right?
Yes, of course.
And you
a
told
long
him.
time ago, but he's like non-existent for me now. So
Oh, yeah?
it's like he doesn't exist.
And that's the way you want it?
Yeah.
So did you tell him you're sorry for resenting him?
No, I haven't seen or talked to him forever. He's in a
And
different
why don't
country.
you see him and talk to him? It doesn't mean you got to hang out with him, but you need to forgive him so that
Well, I have in me. I've forgiven him in my heart and in my mind. I don't really
But
need
why
to.
not tell him? God said that we should go and apologize to the person we resent.
It's not like you have his number, right? He left when she was young, so it's...
Oh, you don't even know how to
wouldn't
get him or anything?
Right, yeah.
Oh, I see.
So for me, he's like dead.
Oh, man.
He died, yeah. And I've made peace with that. And it's fine. I don't have
So
daddy
there's no
issues.
part of you that will like, at least like to see him or get to know him a little
No,
bit?
nothing. It's all gone, you know. I have my father, my real father, so.
Amazing. Well, don't you end up that way. You forgive your father. All right. All right. Amazing. Any other questions or anything?